Now, on 105.9 FM and streaming worldwide on the WMAL app. O'Connor and Company.
Well, good morning, one and all. It is 7:07 on News Talk 105.9 WMAL. We are making sense of the news. It's the first Monday. Well, it is the only Monday of Thanksgiving week. I'm Andrew Langer in for Larry O'Connor this week. Good morning, Julie Gunlock.
Morning.
Julie Gunlock is sitting in with me today. So excited. Listen, Robert Spencer's going to be joining us in a little bit. He's the author of the new book, Intifada on the Hudson, The Selling of Zoran Mamdani, as we continue to break down the meeting in the Oval Office last week and the aftermath. But there's another big news. Julie, you and I didn't get a chance to talk about this video that some Democrats released last week.
Oh, dear.
Raising questions about illegal orders, and nobody seems to be able to tell us what an illegal order might be. Joining us to help us noodle through, to help us piece out what this means is Joe diGenova. He's a legal analyst. He's the former U.S. Attorney for the District of Columbia. Joe, this is just an average warning. You know, this could happen anytime. Members of Congress are always out there telling service members that they can ignore illegal orders. What's going on here?
Well, you'll notice that the 6 members of Congress who did this are all no longer in the reserves.
Yes.
So that they cannot be called up to active duty and court-martialed. Not a single member of Congress who is in the active reserve participated in that ridiculous display. But calling it ridiculous actually downplays the seriousness of it. That was an actual call for insubordination among troops. It wasn't a warning. It was a call for insubordination. It's reckless. It's extremely, extremely insidious to the chain of command, and it was designed to subvert the chain of command. So it's not very complicated. In fact, it's so oafish in it, even though it pretends to be slick, it's so oafish that it's cringeworthy. But that shouldn't be surprising with today's Democratic Party. It's very, very sad. But it's also something that's very aggravating. When you have the type of recruitment figures that the Trump administration has, where young men and women are joining in droves after refusing to join under Biden, it tells you that insubordination is the last thing in the world this president has to worry about.
But Joe, I feel like he still does, because we know that the military had some wokeness in it that Pete Hegseth has been trying to root out. And there are, I'm quite certain there are some military leaders that are still embedded within the military, haven't left yet, that are not happy with the Trump administration. And so I worry about that. I totally agree with you that this was a call for insubordination. And I also worry about young troops who might be impressionable. And these senators, these what are they calling them? The seditious 6, I think they're calling them on X.
I love them in the 80s, by the way.
Yeah, won't lift a finger to help these young service members who might be tricked into insubordination because of this video.
Well, I'm not worried about that so much as I'm worried about the fact that the degeneration of Congress into a vaudeville show is much more serious than people think it is. The only thing we're missing is blackface, and I think the Democrats will not do that after Ralph Northam's role in that scene a few years ago. So the question really becomes, what is their audience?
Yes.
What is their audience? And the answer is it's the Democrat base.
100%.
The true problem is with the generals in the Army. I'm not worried about the enlistees, and I'm not even worried about the officer corps. I'm worried about the generals. People like Milley are all over the military. They're fat, they're overweight, they're overwrought, and they're stupid. And there's nothing more dangerous than a stupid general. So the bottom line is this. Pete Hegseth has the right idea, which is to give that speech he gave, which a number of anonymous generals didn't like. And there's your problem.
Yeah.
They should have shut up. But instead of shutting up, they decided to talk to the press anonymously.
Right.
There's your problem.
Right, and it's funny, Julie, because I remember you and Larry had on Anthony Schaefer just a couple of weeks back, and he talked about the physical fitness standards and how most of these commanding officers are doing the paper test, their physical fitness test. But here, so Alyssa Slotkin was asked about this on ABC over the weekend. Specifically, well, what are you referring to when you talk about illegal orders? Here's what she had to say. Michael, let's go ahead and play cut number 16, please.
So let's talk right now. Do you believe President Trump has issued any illegal orders?
To my knowledge, I am not aware of things that are illegal, but certainly there are some legal gymnastics that are going on with these Caribbean strikes and everything related to Venezuela.
Got it. So Joe, it's at least nominally supposed to be about Venezuela because apparently we're no longer able to interdict drug boats. Your thoughts here?
Any port in a storm.
Right.
The truth is the Democrats are looking for a place to put their aircraft carrier, which consists of green cheese and the moon. These people are so silly and stupid. And you remember they put up Slotkin as a moderate. Remember They were touting her as the new face of the Democratic Party. She's actually a very new face in a very old political body. And the new face is beginning to melt as you look at the makeup because it's pretty bad makeup.
Yeah. Hey, Joe, real quick, let me ask you this. What's going on with the Comey case, the missteps here? I'm very worried that this has been bungled. What's going on?
Well, I think the Comey case suffers from a lot of problems. And the problem is, here's my biggest fear. I don't really care about the case itself. I don't think I would have never brought the case.
Yeah.
And here's why. Suppose James Comey goes to trial and is acquitted in the Eastern District of Virginia, which is extremely likely given the jury. Right. If he's acquitted in the Eastern District of Virginia, he can't be tried in Florida in the big grand conspiracy case that apparently, according to the Attorney General and Mike Davis and all the people who are close to the Department of Justice, is being run out of Florida by the new U.S. attorney there. So if Comey's acquitted, he cannot be included in that indictment out there because he'll claim double jeopardy, and he'll have a pretty good argument to make. I think what should have done with Comey is you leave him alone. You let that case go by the boards in the Eastern District of Virginia, and you worry about the big case in Florida. So, I think everybody who's involved in the case in the Eastern District has done the best they could under very difficult circumstances. I think people should have ignored the president's call to indict Comey over there. They just should have ignored it. Somebody with enough gravitas should have gone to the Oval Office and said, look, Mr. President, here's the plan. This is why we shouldn't do this. It's a lousy district. Right. It's a lousy jury pool. It's an okay case. It's probably worthy of prosecution, but we got to worry about the jury pool because if he gets acquitted, he's out completely from everything.
Right. It's this idea of this is why you should rest assured that we know that a case tried in New York against President Trump, the likelihood of the prosecution prevailing against Trump is very high. Joe diGenova, thank you so very much for joining us today.
My pleasure. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody at the station and our listeners.
And enjoy that turkey. Enjoy that stuffing.
WMAL, making sense of the news. Live from the Home Paramount Pest Control Studios. Home Paramount, the leader in pest control since 1939.
Brought to you by the National Air Traffic Controllers Association. We guide you home. NATCA.org.
Well, Julie, we discovered something last week, did we not, Julie? That you have a Cristiano Ronaldo crush, and I have a bit of a crush on the second lady, Usha Vance.
Yes.
Yeah. Listen, I mean, what's not to like about Usha Vance? And so I got my hopes up over the weekend.
Oh no,
got my hopes up over the weekend. J.D. Vance's wife Usha addresses divorce speculation after being seen without her wedding ring. And so, she was given a speech. This is out of the page 6. Of course, it's page 6. Giving a speech over the weekend, and she did not have her wedding ring on. And, of course, what's going on? He gave her, J.D. Vance gave Erica Kirk too long a hug, and now divorce. But we all know this. Listen, I work with a number of different working mothers, not just Julie. Not just Heather. I work with others. My wife is a working mom as well. Every once in a while, you get. Listen, I can't tell you how many times I've been out with my wife, and she'll turn to me, "Oh my God, I forgot to put my earrings on. I forgot my wedding ring. Blah blah.
Yeah,
This
okay.
happens, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It does.
Yes.
I mean, you take your rings off. I'm no longer taking my rings off because I clean my ring, but basically like under running water. But plenty of women do take their rings off.
Right.
And for instance, if you're cooking or if you're bathing the kids, this became such a hot topic. She actually, and it's rare for Usha to come out with any kind of statement, but she came out with a statement saying, "I forgot it. Okay, everybody calm down." And she, and I guess Vance also said she does, she gives a lot of baths, she does a lot of cooking, she, does dishes, which I'm sure they're all gonna all the feminazis out there are like, oh look, she's the only one doing dishes.
Ever misplaced a ring? One of your rings?
Gosh, no.
All right.
No.
So true story. I lost. I've gone. Folks know. Listen, if you don't know this, I've fluctuated with my weight over the years. And
did it fall off?
Oh, yeah. 2011, I was having breakfast with my family at Chicken Ruth's, which, if you're not aware of it, Chicken Ruth's is
of course I'm
famous restaurant in Annapolis, Maryland. And I don't know, the other thing everybody knows about me, I gesticulate wildly with my hands.
Everybody thinks it's Chicken Roost, by the way. It's not. It's
Chick and Ruth's. Yes.
They were a lovely couple. She yelled at me once, but anyway, go on.
Did she? See,
yes, she yelled at me.
Chick was really nice to us. When my wife was deployed in 2007, she called while I was taking my kids to breakfast at Chicken Ruth's.
That's so sweet. And we're veering off into, we're now on our fourth subject. Okay.
But my point
so you're
is,
wildly gesticulating.
I was wildly gesticulating, and my ring flew off. And I didn't even notice it. And yeah, it took us a while to go and find it. So I had to go into that. I now wear one of these
I don't know
silicone
that that's
rings.
I don't know that that's Usha's problem, but
no, it's not. It's not.
She,
but the point is, it happens.
It is all lies, and they're fine. And she just forgot her ring. But boy, people feed off this stuff. They love these kinds
that's
of
exactly
stories.
it. They love the controversy. They love the speculation. They love the court intrigue here. And invariably, right, it's Occam's razor at work. The simplest explanation is usually the correct one. In this case, she's a working mom and working tirelessly as the second lady, and every once in a while.
And the other explanation is people are just cruel. For instance, because they are tying this hug that Erica Kirk and JD had together. Why am I calling that like the vice president? Calling him JD like we're friends.
You're friends. You're neighbors. You were neighbors. What are you talking about?
It's just gross. And again, the cruelty that Erica Kirk has had to endure, the laughter and snickers, and I mean, just absolutely grotesque.
The insane
from
conspiracy theories by folks who were formerly, prominent conservatives out there.
Good point.
I mean, that's just it. And there are a lot of levels of these conspiracy theories. Again, and don't want to go down the Charlie Kirk assassination conspiracy theories, but my point is that this is a form of that conspiracy theory.
Absolutely.
And it is designed to try to, at the end of the day, right, some of it is speculation and folks just sort of trying to peer through, but some of it is also designed to be damaging.
Well, the other thing that the left has been sort of prattling on about is that J.D. Vance said it's his wish that his wife eventually, who was raised in a Hindu family, that she eventually converts to Catholicism, one assumes, but Christianity. And, everybody was so appalled by that.
Oh my
God. Is the wish of most Christians.
Yes.
That if you are married to someone who is not, that does not believe in the Christian faith,
accept Jesus Christ as their
yes,
Lord
you
and Savior.
want them to. That is a very normal thing, and everybody was losing their minds about that. And then, of course, this led to these rumors of Usha Vance being angry about that. It's all a lie.
Of course. No, listen. It's like this. Before I converted, I had friends who used to ask me, who ask me about, your people want to take you to church. Don't you get offended when they want to take you to church? I'm like, no. It means they love me. Right? It's a sign that they love me. It's a sign that J.D. Vance loves his wife so much. So listen, enough of the speculation about Usha and J.D. I don't know. There's no easy way to do a combination of their names, is there? Enough of the speculation. Yes, my hopes my hopes were dashed. We got so much more to get to. Right now it is 7:23 on WMAL.
You're going to want to stick around for this. We're going to interview Robert Spencer, author of the new book, Intifada on the Hudson, The Selling of Zohran Mamdani. Keep it here. It's 7:30.
WMAL-FM Woodbridge, Washington, a Cumulus media station. Making sense of the news. News Talk 105.9. News now. Now on 105.9 FM and streaming worldwide on the WMAL app. O'Connor and Company.
Well, good morning, one and all. Happy Monday. It is the Monday of Thanksgiving week. Thank you very much for joining us here on News Talk 105.9 WMAL. We are making sense of the news. It is 7:37. I'm Andrew Langer in for Larry O'Connor this week, sitting alongside Julie Gunlock. Hey there, Julie.
Good morning.
So, listen, we've been covering this story late last week. Zohran Mamdani, the mayor-elect of New York City, well, he made the pilgrimage to Washington, D.C. to sit with Donald Trump in the White House. Joining us right now to talk about this is Robert Spencer. He's author of the new book, Intifada on the Hudson, The Selling of Zohran Mamdani. You can find him on X. Jihad Watch RS is his Twitter handle. So, Robert, what did you make of the meeting? Did it go how you thought it was going to?
No, actually, I thought that Trump would be a little sharper with Mamdani, but Trump, he's a very interesting character. He's a lot shrewder than most people give him credit for. I think that he was probably trying to co-opt Mamdani from being able to blame Trump when his inevitable failure comes. He's going to bankrupt the city if he implements even a tenth of his agenda. Then he'll say it was all Trump's fault, and Trump can say, what are you talking about? I was rooting for this guy from the beginning. We had a very cordial meeting.
Yeah, so you got this book out, Intifada on the Hudson, The Selling of Zohran Mamdani, came out just before the election. Tell us about the book.
Well, this is all you need to know about Zohran Mamdani. It shows that he really is a communist, despite his denials, and he's also a Twelver Shiite Muslim, which is the official religion of the Islamic Republic of Iran, where they chant death to America on the orders of the government every Friday in the mosques. And so the mayor of New York incoming is somebody who holds to not one but two destructive anti-American ideologies. By all accounts, as I show in the book, he's a true believer, and he's going to do as much damage as he possibly can while he's mayor.
One of the things that has confused me, and I'm sure you too, is that Mamdani did receive some support from the Jewish community in New York. I don't know what the exact results were of the election, but there's no doubt that some Jewish people, they were verbal about it. They came out in support of him and were on camera talking about it. Why do you think that is? Is this just a matter of suicidal empathy?
Oh, yeah, very much so, Julie, but also the fact that Jews in general, in the aggregate in the United States and elsewhere, actually, have been on the left for many decades, going back to times when they were marginalized in the culture and tended to identify with the downtrodden and outcast,
right,
which, of course, is how the left advertises itself, although it's all a falsehood. That's how they pitch their appeal to voters. And so there's still many Jews who just reflexively vote for the left, no matter who it is, even if it is, in this case, suicidal, as you noted.
Well, to be fair, right? I mean, so the choices were essentially Curtis Sliwa, Cuomo, and Mamdani, and essentially the vote broke 2/3 for Cuomo, 1/3 for Mamdani, and a sliver of a percentage there for Curtis Sliwa. But right, I mean, this is where we are. This has always been an issue, though. I will say, Julie and Robert, I had conversations with a high school classmate of mine up in New York last week, who has been appalled and deeply concerned by what is going on there. Well, Robert, and you're right. I mean, there's not much difference in the modern era between the democratic socialists and the so-called communists that are out there. Obviously, socialism is merely the transitional phase between capitalism and communism. But what does this mean? How do we deal with the Mamdani New York situation as conservatives down the road?
Well, for one thing, we have to recognize that Mamdani is just part of a larger problem,
yes.
That the far left in the Democrat Party has taken control of the party, that they are marketing numerous candidates who are just like Mamdani all around the country, that is, open socialists, actual Marxists, who are from immigrant backgrounds, who are non-white, which is important for the left because it shows how diverse they are in every manner except diversity of thought.
Robert, I'm sorry. Let me just jump in here because what you point out here, this is exactly how we have millions of dollars in welfare funds in Minnesota. The socialist Democrats in Minnesota have funneled millions of dollars to Al-Shabaab. This is how we get to this, right? It's not just that they are taking cash from X and giving it to Y. They're taking cash from the wealthy in elsewhere and giving it to terrorists. This is a problem.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And in Minneapolis, we had a Mamdani clone who ran for mayor. I was actually surprised that he didn't win, but I don't think his political career is over. Yeah. That's Omar Fateh, who is yet another Muslim immigrant socialist. And we've seen now in Minneapolis where this kind of thing leads with all that funneling of money to a jihad terror organization.
Yeah, never underestimate the ability of the boy mayor of Minneapolis to be able to pull things out, Jacob Fry. Robert, listen, we have to leave it there. Thank you so very much for joining us this morning.
A pleasure. Thank you.
Robert Spencer is the author of the book Intifada on the Hudson, The Selling of Zohran Mamdani. It's out now. Go and check it out. It is 7:43 on WMAL.
WMAL's Vince Colonnese, weekdays at noon on 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
Good night, Julie. As if we couldn't tell, we couldn't have predicted that this was going to happen. The love affair between Kevin Roberts and Tucker Carlson has apparently come to an end. So we let's set the Wayback Machine back to just before Halloween. And Kevin Roberts was he made this statement. Let's go ahead and play cut number 19.
We will always defend truth. We will always defend America, and we will always defend our friends against the slander of bad actors who serve someone else's agenda. That includes Tucker Carlson, who remains, and as I have said before, always will be a close friend of the Heritage Foundation.
And
the venomous coalition attacking
the venomous coalition attacking him apparently now includes Tucker Carlson. Let's go ahead. This is something called the 1819 News Podcast with podcast host Brian Dawson. I don't know them. I don't know if that's in your rotation, no. Julie. It's not in mine. Let's play cut. Here's Tucker Carlson. Let's play cut number 20.
There's a man called Kevin Roberts who I knew and really liked. Took over the Heritage Foundation a couple of years ago, and I thought, and that's the biggest foundation in Washington, and I thought that he could steer it into a positive direction. I think he certainly wanted to. He tried. And in the end, 10 days ago, he was completely destroyed by this fighting within the Republican Party and the conservative movement. Very, very sad. And I think the Heritage Foundation will. And I say this, again, with sadness because there are smart people there. They have a ton of money. They should be a force for good. But I don't see how they ever will be.
Not after that.
No, not after that.
Absolutely cannibalized him.
Yep. And he allowed it. He was weak. He decided he wanted his job more than to tell the truth. And that's a moment that I think every man faces inevitably in life. And I understand the fears. I mean, I've certainly been there a lot, and not wanting to lose your job. I get it. I'm not judging, but you have to choose the truth.
I get it.
I get it.
I get it. I'm not judging. Yes, you are. And he's
of course he is. I mean, listen, that's all judgy. He was weak. You called him weak. He defended you, and you called him weak. He almost lost his job.
Let this be a lesson to anybody. Don't go to bat for Tucker Carlson.
Yeah, okay? I mean, this is...
Don't go to bat for him because you know what? You're going to cost yourself, and then he's going to stab you in the back. So, what did this get Kevin? I feel really bad for Kevin. I think that he's a great guy. I think he's he's brilliant. And I think that he did not expect this reaction.
Right.
I think he admits it wasn't well thought out. But just to hear Tucker just like, gosh, how awful for him. I mean, as if he didn't,
if he's not the root cause of all of this. I mean,
exactly. He's the
reason.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, it's again, and I've never known Tucker all that well. I don't know Kevin Roberts at all. I maybe have met him a handful of times, but and I get it, right? You're someone who runs one of these organizations, and you are focused on doing policy work. Right. And I know Heritage does a great deal on the political front of all of it. And you should be a little bit more savvy about the politics that are involved.
You should.
But at the end of the day.
I mean, but the truth is, Andrew, you and I both have other jobs, right?
100%.
I work for the Independent Women's Forum. You are over at CPAC, and it's really important because now I'm not the president of IWF. My dear friend Carrie Lucas is the president of IWF, and she is very careful on X. She is very careful to come always above board and to sound professional, and because what she says reflects on her organization.
100%.
I should probably be more careful on X, frankly.
Well,
and I mean, I think you are too, because we are associated with these other organizations, and you do need to be careful. And I don't think Kevin really thought that out, that what he says is reflective of the organization, and that's why the people working there were so upset, and Tucker is completely unsympathetic to the fact that Kevin had to
100%.
attend to what his employees were saying and what the organization stands for. He has a board.
100%. There's a balancing of interest, and ultimately he's got a board which is responsible for shepherding and making sure that the organization is being managed in the right way. That is an enormous undertaking. As Tucker points out in this, it's a massive organization. I guess, is it the largest of the conservative organizations? I don't even know at this point in time. Obviously,
100%.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I mean, as I'm sort of sitting here thinking about it,
Heritage is,
right. But my point at the end of the day is, because it is so large and it has all of these employees, it's a lot to manage there. And so,
look, ever since Trump got elected in 2016, there's a lot of organizations that have tried to navigate this weird new world that we're in, and we have to do it. At other organizations have to do it too. It was inevitable that there was going to be someone walking into a buzzsaw eventually.
Right.
It's too bad.
I'm sure. Lord knows it wasn't. Kevin Roberts didn't expect it to be him over the issue of Tucker Carlson. And to get that sort of thanks from Tucker at the end, that sort of puts a cherry on top. It's 7:53 on WMAL.